Call to order. Number 2, remarks of visitors. Any citizen may address the zoning board of adjustment on any matter. Registration forms are available on the table. This form should be completed and delivered to the city staff by 5:45 p.m. Please limit remarks to 3 minutes. The zoning board of adjustment will receive the information, ask staff to look into the matter, or place the issue on a future agenda.
Anything, we do not have any remarks of visitors, and we open the meeting at 6 o'clock.
All right. Item 3, conduct a public hearing for the purpose of receiving public comment and testimony regarding a zoning variance application submitted to the City of Navasota by RAM Navasota LLC for the property located at 2010 State Highway 105 East, Navasota, Grimes County, Texas 77868. The variance application requests a variance from the 25 feet street side setback requirement as prescribed in Article, go back to Roman numerals here,
I'll just say XI.
XIB-1, General Business District for the construction of a restaurant setback 15 feet from the street side property line along County Road 425, 4154, to result in a 10 feet street side setback encroachment. The property affected is legally described as Ram Development Lot 2, acres 0.7663.
Thank you. And we'll open the public hearing at 6:02. And I'll briefly summarize the application. So as you read through there, the proposed building site, it is on a corner. It's on the corner of 105 East and County Road 425. So the side setback requirement when you're on a corner is the same as the front. So the building is to be placed 25 feet setback from the front property line, which would be along 105, and 25 feet setback from the side street, which would be that county road. However, the owner of Jack in the Box has worked with the city. Matter of fact, they went through the city council for a development agreement to redo that road. The actual width of that road has always kind of been not specifically set, and so they're working with a really tight space to widen that road at the city's request. And then they also still want to fit their store. So between this pad site and another pad site next door, they're just working with a really tight space, and staff felt that the 10 feet was a reasonable encroachment. You still have separation from the drive-through lane. There's also a grassy median there, and then it gets to the street. So as far as distance, the staff feels that the distance is reasonable. I don't know if any of you guys drove by there. If y'all did, y'all noticed the building is well on its way. So I know Jason's here if y'all have any questions about it. But it's one of those deals where it just slipped through the plan review. And actually, Jack in the Box engineer, they were the ones that actually called us and said, hey, this kind of slipped through. So we're wanting to address it the formal, proper way. And so we appreciated that from them. But again, Jason Fisher is here with the Jack in the Box representing the application if you'll have any questions.
I do have one question for you, Lupe, before we get started. How much did this street get, how much bigger did they make the street from what it previously was? How much more was that?
Yeah, so before, or it's currently still about 15, 16 feet wide, which is really tough to get two cars oncoming in the same direction, or opposite direction, and now it's going to be 30 feet from edge of pavement to edge of pavement. So it's going to be a really nice collector-sized street that'll accommodate all that drive-through traffic and then any traffic exiting off of 105. So staff's really happy with the width, and again, they entered into an agreement with the city where the city was only responsible for putting up a third of that cost. So they've been really great to work with on this whole project.
What's the distance between the edge of the drive-through lane and the edge of the street?
I believe that is about 5 feet. I think that's what that island is.
That's great. Is there going to be landscaping or anything in that? Is it just going to be grass?
I believe it's just grass. Yeah. I can verify that.
I drove by there today. I was very surprised.
Popped up there, huh?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I was just surprised at how narrow it is. I guess there were two things that concern me. And I know that we're not addressing drainage or anything like that here, but you're going to have to really build that up. And so what's going to happen between the drive-through and the road? Is it going to drop off, or what is the plan for that? Is it going to slope, or?
What's the elevation difference?
Yeah, so Connie, on the total design, so when they designed the Jack in the Box store, the pad site in the middle, and the retail space, and actually let me show you on the map here. So when this whole corner was designed, you are right, there's a big drop off as you're heading down the county road.
Right.
So the same owner owns these 3 lots and this lot here. Well, this lot here is a regional detention. Well, not I say regional, but it's for these 3 lots. And so they've designed it where everything is underground storm pipe that all leads to the pond. And so even on here along this road, there is going to be a curb and gutter on the edge of that road. Mm-hmm. So all the water is going to flow south, go under Durden Street, which that's included in the reconstruction of it all. And then eventually all the water heads down to the creek. And I think that's a tributary of Sandy Creek. Mm-hmm. So they took the whole design. They didn't just do one lot at a time. They looked at it holistically. And so this large lot here will act as a pond for all 3 stores. But they are going to have to, raise the land quite a bit. And if you drove by there, the pond back there already is,
Yes.
3-4 feet or 5 feet from the road. So.
Well, I'm talking about from the drive-through down to the county road. Is that going to be sloped? Is it going to be, well, like over at Pizza Hut, it's like a wall, and then it just drops off into a ditch?
Yeah, essentially, it's going to be it'll be fairly sharp, but it's just going to be grass, and it's going to go down to the curb for the road. But when you're dealing with that much space, there's not a lot of runoff from 5 feet or so of grass. So. And again, that's why the widening of the road helps, because it allows that water to run on the edge of the curb. So.
Okay. And the other question I had, which I mentioned to you in an email, had to do with the fact that it appeared that there was not room in the drive-through for a car to get out. And I actually have a good friend who's the facility services director with Jack in the Box, and she's been with them for about 40 years. And so she kind of gave me a tutorial. And I realized that there's a limited number of building styles, and that they've reconfigured their drive-throughs and all of that. And you've got these park pad sites, to funnel cars over around, if you can't get to their order right away. So she gave me all of that information. But the thing I was concerned about was not being able to get out. I mean, car number 1 and car number 6 may be able to get out, but if you've got an emergency or something, you can't get out and get around. And if a car breaks down, you can't get out and get around. And the variance doesn't help that either. Just a concern of mine.
Yeah. I don't think they want you to leave the drive-thru once you're in. You have to buy something.
I did.
Yeah.
She went in today looking for a hamburger.
Right.
Bart said the order was ready.
Well, you'd be surprised what happens in the drive-thru. I did talk to my friend said, they've had a shooting in the drive-thru. They've had a man actually pass away in his car. But most of the time it's like a car breaking down, and then everything is stopped and nobody can get out or get around or whatever. And I know this isn't anything we have any control over, but it does concern me that you're stuck. I mean, it's almost in a way a public safety issue if you're there and you can't get out and you need to get out.
Yeah, I've noticed that it seems like that's more common nowadays. I know the Chicken Express on 290, not the Chicken Express, the Chick-fil-A, that's by the Outlet Mall. They're on 290. That one, it's very similar to this. It has 2 lanes that feed into one, and then once you're in that line, I mean, you have landscaping and trees and bushes and.
You're gonna wait for that meal.
Yeah, I think I think you're forced to wait.
But they're pretty efficient on the way they
Oh
handle
yeah, that's true.
drive-through.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, we're pretty fortunate here, because I checked out all the drive-thrus. I went around town. There's
Yeah, we're a
about-
little spoiled,
There's
yeah.
about 12 of them, and I think Pizza Hut's the only one that's got you stuck in there.
Yep,
That's true, yeah.
yep.
I'll do everything I can to avoid pizza.
I only have one other question. When this original footprint was created, was it with the idea that this street was going to stay at 15 feet? And then later on, it went ahead and expanded to 30 feet?
No, so the conversations about the road happened very early. Staff knew that road was going to be an issue, and it was brought up by Jack in the Box too. Just the condition wasn't very good for what they're proposing here. So it was from the beginning, it was designed that way, and I think that's probably why it kind of slipped under the cracks. So they were also focused on making sure the road was going to be adequate for everything. So.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, Lupe also told me there's no standard for drive-through width. Is that,
That's correct, yeah.
okay.
We try to maintain around 10 to 12 feet for a drive-through width, but generally not much more than that.
Are there any other questions or concerns? We'll close the public hearing at 6:13.
Item 4, consideration and possible action on order number 7-2022, approving a zoning variance application submitted to the City of Navasota by Ram Navasota LLC for the property located at 2010 State Highway 105 East, Navasota, Grimes County, Texas 77868. The variance application requests a variance from the 25 feet street side setback requirement as prescribed in Article XI B-1, General Business District, for the construction of a restaurant setback 15 feet from the street side property line along County Road 425, 4154, to result in a 10 feet street side setback encroachment. The property affected is legally described as Ram Development Lot 2, acres 0.7663.
Entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the variance.
Second?
I second. Or me or Paul, whoever.
Ethan? All in favor to approve
Can I
order
ask a
number
question?
7?
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
When things like this come before planning and zoning, do they have any say-so at all in the future on, I mean, I realize that Jack in the Box is locked into its style of buildings and all that, but on our design standards that the city has, does planning and zoning have any ability to say we don't feel like that's, safe for the public to come through there or whatever? I mean, how much control does the city have on something like that?
Yeah, I think since we don't have a set drive-through width standard called out specifically, that doesn't mean that one can't be adopted. So it would just have to be a zoning amendment initiated either by staff or by the Planning and Zoning Board, and then that gets considered by P&Z and then ultimately council to adopt that. So it's something that's possible, but it's not in effect today.
Okay.
All in favor to approve order number 70/2022?
Aye.
Aye.
Any against? All right, and order is approved.
Item 5, consideration and possible action on approval of the August 3rd, 2022 meeting minutes as presented.
I move we accept the August 3rd minutes as presented.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any against? Nope. Okay. Item number 6. We
Adjourn.
adjourn At 6:16.